Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Come check me out, y'all. Come on in. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to come on up in here with me. Y'all come sit with me. Y'all come on up in here and sit with me. We got a whole lot to cover, y'all. We got some things to talk about. Y'all come on in, come on in. Giving everybody a minute. Hey, Lulu, I see you. Energy on high. I feel that. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. I see y'all coming on up in here. Like I said, we got a lot of this and that to talk about. Hey, I see you, Emily. Hey, True Crimes. What's up? I see y'all. Listen, y'all. I've received some messages tonight that it was a whole lot of rigmarole. You know, I would like to not have to address things really and just keep the focus where it should be, but y'all know what's going on. I gotta address a few things here, and then we gonna keep it pushing. And then I'm sure those with common sense already know it really don't even need addressing. I appreciate the messages. Um, you know who you are, who sent them to me. I appreciate that. And then we're gonna keep it pushing, y'all. Y'all already know I didn't sleep with no Jarvis. I mean, come on, let's be for real. I've explained time and time again the situation with my sister as far as me not finding out till she was 24 years of age. I've already explained that. Um, I heard about the victim shaming going on with most of the women in my family were tossed around and touched. That's victim shaming, y'all. So listen, I say this, and then we're gonna keep it pushing it and get focused on what needs to be talked about. And that is, hey OG, I see you. Hey, I don't do victim shaming, and I stand against that. And so anybody that's over there listening to that craziness, look, stay over there if you are not competent enough to understand that a lot of this stuff this lady is saying is made up. Y'all see we got Dre in the back chilling. Um, it's been a lot of rumors. And it's unfortunate that one of the rumors is constantly uh, Dre being accused of touching Nazaya. It's sad. I've addressed this a few times, and I just hope that everybody have common sense enough to know, the real from the you got to know how to separate the real from the fake, the mess from the what need to be heard. Emily asks, is Shannon gonna get arrested or not? Trying to be messy. Emily, you can see your way out, dear. You don't have to stay. You can stick around if you like. However, this isn't being messy, this is addressing mess. If a man is being accused of doing something to a child and that child being my cousin, I have every right to address it. And that man being accused, and not only that, but the lie being is that I'm the one that said. I have the right to address that. So Emily, how about you see your way up out of here and not come back? You don't have to be over here at all. And I am not a part of investigation nor prosecution. You are welcome to come to court if you want to sit in court and find out any information as far as what's going on. When the trial begins. Other than that, we waiting like you waiting. Okay? So there's that. Like I said, y'all, I've been getting messages as far as the mess that's being said, and I felt the need to address it. And then we're gonna keep it pushing. I said that to say, when it comes to evil forces, okay, they resent chosen ones because chosen ones have dominion over them. So when it comes to the people that come forward to put the message out and to talk about the things that's important, whether we're talking about the case or whatever the conversation, um, there's going to be evil, right? And there's going to be people that there's a saying, um, you have to be careful. The people that come along looking like they're angels or they're good, you have to be very careful, right? You have to be very careful because those people are actually there in disguise. Okay, they disguise themselves, and you have to realize that this evil, this spiritual warfare is real. It's happening right in front of y'all face, right? So it's gonna be a whole lot being said. It's okay, Emily. I hear you. It's okay. Like I said, you can stay out. I don't be trying to block nobody. Everybody got the right to their opinion. I try not to block nobody, or unless it just get too bad. Um, then I have to, because it's kind of like, okay, we can't keep going on with this. We got to keep it moving. And I appreciate your apology. I just wanted to put that out there because, like I said, I'm gonna go back into the evil forces, y'all. Like I said, Emily, Dre is being accused of touching Nazaya, and it's been said that I am the one that put that out there, and I told her that. He's been under a lot of stress, and it has been really bothering him. Just the fact that he feels as though, um, like he's told me, Kewana, I have never done anything to hurt a child uh, in no kind of way. And that's bad that he has to be accused of that. And my name is on it. Oh, she said, I don't think, okay, true crime. My apology, Emily. I stand corrected. If I said that to you, I, and you weren't speaking about me, I apologize. I read it wrong. Oh, she said not trying. Okay, okay, I apologize for that. Okay, y'all. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Dre, do you have anything you want to say? I know you kind of. He's just here, y'all. He's been quite upset about the things being said about him, as he should be. Being a victim myself, I don't think it's a laughing matter at all. And then we're talking about Naziah Harris. We're talking about my little cousin. I think it's very horrible, and it would take a evil, evil, evil person to go and just say something like that about somebody, just to say it. Okay. um Dre, you okay? I mean, I know as much as you
Yeah,
can be.
I'm good. I'm just here. I ain't really got much to say 'cause there ain't much to say.
Mm,
I'm here.
I understand. And I appreciate you being here. Um, absolutely. Like I said, y'all, we gonna keep it moving. Those who know. Okay, when you are chosen, spiritual attacks are real and they come from all sorts of people, right? Um, people and sometimes, it could be like groups, it can be a certain person. Well, for me, I've recognized that these spiritual attacks are coming from um, people in which appears to have some sort of influence on others. And that's, make no mistake, that's purposely done. Um, you know, I came to shed light on a situation with my little cousin and shoulder Janelle. And I came to shed light because I felt that it needed to be done. It needed to be done. As I expressed before, I saw myself in Isaiah, um, and my other little cousins when I heard what transpired at that party. And I just felt like I needed to say something. I needed to do something. Um, and that's what I did. That's what we did. And ever since we've done that, I realized, and ever since what happened to her happened, I realized that this isn't nothing small we're dealing with. This is a spiritual war. It's spiritual and it's physical. And I am under attack. I've been under attack. Janelle's been under attack. And believe me, anybody that has come to shed any good with this situation will be under attack too. And I'm okay with that. As I told y'all, I was gonna go a little more um deep into how I knew I had to be the one and why it had to be me. And so just real quick, ever since I was younger, I've always been the type of person that even as a child, I would jump out there um, and try to save someone, so to say. Even as a little girl, I can remember a time where the same monster that hurt me was trying to hurt Lady. And I jumped on in there and I did what I needed to do, um, and said what I needed to say. I yelled and screamed at the top of my lungs and I removed her from that situation. I just always been that way. I was that way with Crystal. Crystal came and stayed with me. I removed her from a situation. Like I said, I don't want to tell her story, but that's what happened. I removed her from a situation. I didn't want her um, to be out in the street. I didn't want anything to happen to her. And I offered my home. I offered comfort. Um, and again, that's just Kewana. So I told y'all before that there's a lot of pain that's been inflicted on the women in my family, and I won't go in deep into detail as to their stories and what they've been through. Um, I'm not just talking SA. I'm talking abuse, period. Any form of abuse is what I'm talking. And I was always a fighter. I was always a fighter. I was a warrior young. I fought for what I believe was right. I fought for the innocent. I fought for those that was being bullied. I never liked the bully, right? If someone was being bullied, I would befriend the person that was being bullied. I would stand up for the person that was being bullied. Even as a child, even as a child. And so there is a lot of things that I heard, growing up, of experiences, the pain that women in my family endured. Um, and I just felt like I needed to do something, to say something. When I heard about that party, like I said, it was a trigger. It took me back to my childhood when I was that scared little girl. Um, when I didn't quite understand how to protect myself. Because that was the thing, I was always protecting others. And I don't know if this is going to make sense to some, but I don't know. It's like I didn't quite know how to protect myself. I had to learn how to protect myself. I was so adamant about protecting others, though, right? So I was very triggered. I was very triggered when I heard about that party. And it took me back to those stories that I heard about some of the older generation in my family. And I felt like I had to do something. And in that moment, I felt alone. Jay felt alone when I did say something. Y'all know the story. I've told it time and time again. It was an attack happening. Um, there was threats being said, you know. But that's what happens when you speak out against wrong. You know, when you set out to save somebody else, y'all gotta understand that evil don't want to see that happen. Evil likes evil. It feeds off evil. It wants evil. It wants the evil to continue. No matter if it's my family, your family, who family, it doesn't matter. That's what it wants. And stepping in the midst of trying to stop an evil, you begin to become attacked. So I want y'all to understand that all of this mess that y'all hearing on the internet, on this social media, on this YouTube, that's exactly what it is. It's mess and it is an attack. I don't sit around and dwell on the stuff that is being said, you know, because you'd be crazy to let something that somebody who won't even show their face say. I've always been taught to look a person in the eye when you're talking. And if you can go onto your platform and make up lies against the very people that tried to help and tried to do something, and then make up lies on a man that you've never met a day in your life, and then include me in the lie, that's a special type of evil. That is evil. And anyone that can sit and listen to that every time, I mean, Every time it's the same thing. I mean, just may switch a few words in the title, but I've never heard anything different. It's the same thing with a few words changed every time. Now everybody's touching Isaiah. I've heard I've heard that it was all kind of names being said. You can't just go say something like that and you don't just to say it. Like that is a special type of evil. It's an attack, y'all. It's a spiritual attack. And I am not afraid. Please don't think I'm afraid. I read something that says direct threat. A direct threat. Evil must attack to protect itself and its own agenda. Hmm, that's deep. Sound about right? Sound about right to me. A hero who brings change and salvation threatens to establish order that evil may control, leading to resistance and attacks. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's been happening. So yeah, pretty much that's what's going on. Um, I'm not afraid. I appreciate all the emails, but you know, wait, let me see. Did I lose y'all? Are y'all here? One second. I don't see it anymore. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure I still got y'all. Okay, can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? No, something happened. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get it fixed. All right, let's see. I did something. Bear with me, guys. Y'all there? Hold on. Get off this couch. I don't know what happened. I didn't say something. I'm always doing something. That's what I get. Can you still hear me? Cause I flipped off of there. We kept smoking. I don't got my thing going. I just started scrolling. I got to scrolling and didn't got y'all up on it. Okay, I'm back, y'all. All right, T. So yeah, like I said, guys, I am absolutely under attack. I appreciate the people that's sending me messages and so on, but I swear I don't be wanting to hear it. I appreciate it, but if you know, you know by now. Like I said, anybody sitting over there listening to that mess, you got to be crazy. Because I would not want to hear that. I would not want it in my spirit all day, every day. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Somebody said I'm still here. I can't see you. Yeah, we not on the camera tonight, huh? Yep, yep. I'm just coming up on here to chitty chat with y'all. But I gotta come on tomorrow and y'all will see me then. Just maxing and relaxing. Maxing and relaxing. Hey, I see you, Tiki. Thank you. Hey, hey, hey. I see you up in here, up in the chat. So yeah, guys, that's what's going on. Like I said, I've been getting all type of messages, and I just wanted to come over here and talk to y'all about what's really going on, and that is, I am absolutely under attack. Jay's been under attack. Dre, you under attack now, right? Dre is under attack. Um,
Yeah,
this thing is big, right? This evil is big. It's big. And you have to stay prayed up, especially with a situation like this. You have to, whatever your belief system, whether it's praying, meditating, whatever it is, spiritually, um, because this is a mess. But like I said, guys, I knew that it had to be me. It had to be me to speak out. It had to be me, you know. Um, I identified with my little cousin's experience. It triggered me, like I said earlier, and I just felt like if I don't say something, and if I don't do something, who will? You know. And that's not saying that they didn't want to do nothing. But sometimes being a victim, and there's whatever you're a victim of, whatever form of abuse, you gain an exterior. And it's almost like you hide behind. Um, you hide. Some people hide behind. We're gonna say rugs, right? Some people hide behind spirits. They drink it plentiful. You know, they find their way of running away from it, what happened, and not having to deal with it and process it regularly mentally. So they basically feel as though they running away from it by um using using addictions. um that's how they cope. It is really not coping. It's at all. So that's not to say that the older generation didn't want to tell their stories. I just felt like I wasn't gonna sit back and be quiet about it. It's a big deal when you go up against your family, because that is my aunt. Those are my cousins. No matter how you slice it, it's bloodline. It's a big deal when you go up against your family, and you what they can which a lot of folk consider spilling tea. It's not spilling tea to me. You know. When we talk about family curses, hey Janelle, hey you. I know you've been studying, girl. She been studying, y'all. She back in class, so everybody shout her out. You gotta stay strong. Hang up in there, T. I know you got this. Now she been in class all night long, honey. Ooh, I'm glad you showed up because I know you tired. I know you tired.
Hey, Janelle.
Energy on high said prayers to you. Victim shaming is not cool at all. You right. You right. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, how much evil can you be to say something like that? All the women have been passed around and raped in that family. Wow. That sounds very evil. And that is not the way um to help nobody heal from anything that they've been through. A lot of people have been through a lot, not just in my family. And many families have been through a lot. Women, men, everybody got a story, you know. Close Cassie said that's sick, and it is. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And so yeah, like I said, y'all, I grew up hearing stories. When I got up in my years, and like we all have heard stories of things that have transpired. Some of our family members, or whatever, you hear things. Um, And I just felt like I had to do something, you know. Honor no aunt, cousin no cousin. I had to say something because what that man did, we did not ever think in a million years that we were dealing with what all this stuff that's come out. Honestly, I thought that I was hearing about a weirdo, a peeping tom, um, and that's bad, that's horrible. But I'm telling you, at no time did I think that we was talking about a serial pedo. Um, Not at all. And then, once I found out the record, I said, "Oh, okay. So he's done this before." And again, never would have thought we was talking about something so, I don't even want to consider him human. I don't know what he is. I just know that he is evil, very evil. Closet Cassie says it makes the victims not even want to come forward. I agree. I absolutely agree. When you victim shame someone, who knows who wanted to come up and tell their story and just talk about, don't not even necessarily just being for my family, but anyone. You afraid that the internet is gonna attack you just for telling your story. That's not right. You're supposed to offer a safe space for any victim. And like I said, victims come in many forms. It doesn't have to be just essay. It could be physical abuse. Mental abuse is a form of abuse as well. You know, that's right. Shayla said he is not human. He is a demon. He is very evil. He is absolutely evil. Jay said exhausted. Oh, yeah, I know you are. Yes, yes, y'all. He is absolutely evil. But like I said, when I heard that story, again, I was triggered. I saw me all over again and my experience and what happened to me. And I said, you know what? Uh-uh, we're not doing this. Not at all. I just wish that we would have been heard and our cries would have been heard early on and we wouldn't be here. Our screams would have been heard and we would not be here. But when you are chosen to speak out against evil or something going on in your family, you will suffer attacks and you have to be strong and you have to be ready for that battle because it's the very reason why a lot of people don't come forward and don't say the things that's happening in their family. It's probably people that seen her story that would love to speak out and they're like, can you imagine you want to be the one to speak out like we were and you face attack? You got the whole blackboard and the Bango crew saying all kind of crazy malicious stuff for no reason. That'll persuade somebody to say, you know what, I don't want to. I'm just gonna not talk about it. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want people attacking me, and that's not okay. We want to always offer a safe space to any victim, right? To anybody, male or female, child or adult. You want to absolutely offer them a safe space. and still we rise, you know? Just because there's a bunch of rumors and mess going around, that's not gonna stop nothing. You know, that's not gonna stop nothing. We're gonna keep on pushing, y'all. We're gonna keep on doing the work, keep on doing what needs to be done, keep on saying what needs to be said. Ain't that right, Dre? You got some things to do now, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yep, yep. You got some things to do now.
You
I
know,
take it as
we more focused on justice for Nazaya than the bullshit.
complete. That's right. Complete justice. Yep, that's right. That's right. And focusing on complete justice for Nazaya is cutting out um the rumors, separate the reality from the fiction, because that's what it is over there. Fiction. That's why you see the cartoon character. Fiction, you know. So when y'all come over here, I try to give y'all the clarity, the truth. Because one thing's for sure, one thing you will never have Kiwana doing is hiding behind anything. I'm a firm believer that you stand in your truth and you stand on whatever it is. If you said something, say you said it. You know, if you feel something, say you feel it. But one thing I've been known to do, and I try to always do, is be honest. I haven't made up one lie yet on anyone. I try to keep it as honest as possible. You got to be honest. You can't be honest. You can't be much. So what do you think about that, Dre? Being like the chosen one that had to step up. When you have to step up and go against, your family, or some consider um generational curses.
Mm, I don't know. It's just I know it's hard to go against family, but when you more about what's right is right, then that's what you're gonna stick by. There's been plenty of situations in this world where you've seen family against family, and there's people that's gonna stick with family, then there's people they gonna stick with you, but they gonna want you to get your punishment because you did wrong type thing. But it's, I can't even really think straight. It's late. It's
No, it's
just
okay. I get it. You said enough. That was an earful. You're absolutely right. It's gonna be people that's gonna stand with you. It's gonna be people that's gonna stand against you. The reality is you can't be concerned with none of that. And you have to do what you sought out to do, what you're called to do. And
uh,
I absolutely feel like I was called to do what I did. I feel like Jay was called to do what she did. Jay was on the outside looking in. I was on the inside looking in. You know? That's right, Jay. It's not for entertainment. None, not at all. Not at all. And so being on the inside looking in, knowing and hearing, the pain that women have suffered, the older generation of my family, that was just it for me to have heard about something like that, you know. Because like I said, we're talking about the older generation. And these were the younger generation. These were my little cousins. It was Jay niece's, her niece. And so, And like I said, that was very difficult. I know you got the cartoon judge saying, "Well, everybody want to protect the neck." I don't understand that how that can even be thought up. If that's the case, we would have stayed quiet.
Right.
That's what protecting the net would have looked like. This wasn't about protecting anyone. This was about making sure that nobody was able to hurt those kids. None of them. Energy on High said, "Do it, please, for the children and free yourself while you break them chains." That's right. It's nothing easy about it, though. Like I said, I've been under attack for quite some time. But you know what? You learn when an experience like this, is tragic as it has been. I have learned the people that cared about me from the people that didn't. Um, when you going through a spiritual fight, a battle, and you out on that battlefield and you battling that evil, sometimes you gotta fight all by yourself. Sometimes you gotta get on your knees all by yourself. You gotta pray all by yourself. You gotta keep your faith all by yourself. And you have to be confident that you're protected, and you have to stay strong, because the minute you lack that confidence, you will start believing the stuff that you're hearing. It'll start breaking you mentally, and you'll start believing it. I'm saying that is the point of it all, right? To break you and your confidence, as far as you fighting against the evil, the curses. So it's taught me a lot. It's taught me that, you know what, for the people that didn't stick around, for the people that became angry, that I whether whoever it was, that was upset that I spoke out. And that's not saying everybody, but I did have a few that was upset, and I couldn't understand it, because for me, I can care less what people think. I don't really care. But they're gonna think what they want to think. If you walk around caring what people think, baby, you're not gonna make it. You know, I had to really, really gain tough skin, because I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, I was like, this is a lot. I mean, I went through it. I absolutely did. We talking about my aunt. We talking about my cousins. And regardless of what y'all know her as, all my life I've known her as my aunt. And all my life I've known them as my cousins, my younger cousins. And then we're talking about mm, 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 mm. we're talking about my cousin that, as it seems now, is just looking at I'm never gonna see again. Jay, that's her niece. That's a hard pill to swallow when you try to prevent this from happening. It was attacks prior to, and the attacks just got stronger after, because they don't want the people to hear the truth, right? And I'm gonna bring the truth every time. The evil wants to keep the shit show going, the it show going. We trying to get this complete justice. That's what we trying to get. This complete justice for all Desire and every other child that we loved, and any other child that's in Desire shoes. You know. So y'all just gotta, keep them prayers going. Right, Dre?
That's right.
Gotta keep them prayers going. Because in the end, we are going to win. She is going to get her complete justice. And that's that. That's how you got to see it. You know? Anything, if you see anything less than that, them evil forces and influences, those people that those forces are working with, that's got some influence, they'll win. And that's not going to happen. Not on my watch. That is not going to happen. Jay said she is exhausted, y'all. OG, I don't know if I spoke, but I see you off in here. I just wanted to make sure because I had to think about it. Like, did I speak to OG? So yeah, y'all, it's a big deal for me. Like I said, um, when you start going up against that evil and those curses, when it comes to generational curses and so on, the attacks get real. All y'all gotta do is sit back and observe. Like you can see it. It's blatant. It's in your face. You can see it. You can see who's full of crap from the people that's really genuine. I don't know if y'all seen on my page, but tomorrow I will be doing a cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness. So I'm gonna show up in my pink, right, Dre?
Yeah, I gotta
They gonna
find me paint. I gotta go get me some paint.
y'all pop out in y'all pink. I got a few guests that's gonna come on, and like I said, we want to honor those that that lost the battle, and we want to honor those that won the battle as well. So y'all make sure y'all show up over here tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time yet because I want to give them room to set a time for their availability. But we will be here for sure. Anybody got any questions in the chat? Feel free to type on. I want y'all to keep supporting Dre with this situation because he gonna going through it, y'all. Anybody that's been accused of something like that would. Any questions in the chat, y'all? Want to make sure I get y'all. If I Before I get up out of here, I wasn't gonna spend too much time, guys. I just want to come check y'all out. How y'all check me out? Anything you want to say, Dre? Just what did you
No,
did you anything you want the people to know? Just flat out, straight up, you didn't do it. You said that
um,
before.
it don't matter what I say, it's just I don't know what to say, but it's just,
That's I can imagine. What I can't imagine. And I absolutely understand. I just want you to fall. I don't want you to fall into a depression. I see it. I hear it. I know that you were very bothered, as you should be.
Mm,
You know how I am with it, Dre. I
yeah,
know I know listen, like I said, for the people with common sense, nobody's listening to that. Nobody's listening to that. And you gotta like to want to hear a hollering and screaming in your ear, or I have a headache. That's why I can't watch. Somebody, y'all probably done seen me pop over there a few times for a moment, but I can't just consistently watch nothing like that. My whole energy would shift. I would be at an all time low vibration daily. Energy on high said prayers to Dre. That's a hard jacket to wear when it's not true.
thank you.
Gina said Mocha is a cancer with a platform. You know what? Ain't lying. A whole damn. Uh, I agree with you. I agree with you, Gina. Yes, indeedy. They praying for you, Dre, for sure praying for you. And you know
Thank
what you
you,
gotta
everybody in the
do.
chat.
You know what need to be done. You'll be good. I wouldn't let none of that mess bother me. That's exactly what it is. A bunch of mess and lies. A bunch of mess and lies, y'all. Phone Jones, hey, hey. I see you, Phone
Hey,
Jones. We're over here chatting it up, huh? They is lying on this man's name and my name as well. But I'm over here tonight to talk about why it had to be me. Why I felt I had to be the one to say something as far as what was going on with Naziah and my other little cousins and what happened at that party. Um, why I felt I had to speak out. Like I said, Jay was already speaking out. She was on the outside looking in. I was on the inside looking in, you know. And together we did what we thought would change things. And unfortunately, it didn't. But one thing we can say is that Naziah name, boy, listen, I want to make sure the world know her name, not just, you know, in small numbers. Not saying it is small numbers now, but I mean across the globe, from the US to overseas, from US to UK, wherever, because she was definitely she's gonna make certain of it herself. I believe that. Right? I believe that, y'all,
yeah,
for certain. So yeah, guys, I don't want to hold y'all too long. Y'all know I'll pop in here and there and kick it with y'all. Phone Jones said her name will be worldwide. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Complete justice to Naziah for Naziah. It absolutely will. I agree with that. I just want the salt to quit being thrown, so she can get her complete justice. The distractions. Phone Jones said her name will ring bells. Yes, it's ringing now, honey. I feel that it is ringing now. Like I said, guys, I didn't want to hold y'all too long. I wanted to come over here and have y'all check me out, sit with y'all for a bit. I will be back tomorrow as I have a few guests coming on, to converse, to share their testimonies about their struggle with breast cancer. Y'all come on over here and show y'all support. I don't know exactly what time, like I said, but I will put a time up there for y'all once I find out what's a convenient time for them. Okay? I thank y'all for coming to sit with me. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all showing up. I want y'all to put the needle on a record and spin these audios. Until next time, y'all know the vibes. Peace.
Peace.